Sometimes I know you gotta get up and walk straight and narrow when they're chasing you down with an overhound in your... Well, a good dog on the ground's worth three in the saddle, no matter where you're from. Been many good dog was a friend to a man, but Sam was the greatest one. He was the hound of hounds, he was the wonder of all walkers. He loved howling at the moon, he loved treeing that raccoon. Most of all, he was my best friend, and he's gone too soon. He was a run of the litter, but a plenty mean pup. Put Sam on the scent, and he never let up. Spent his nights on the porch, chewing on a bare bone. Now he's underground, and I'm all alone. Well, a good dog on the ground's worth three in the saddle, no matter where you're from. Been many good dog was a friend to a man, but Sam was the greatest one. He was a hound of hounds, he was the wonder of all walkers. He loved howling at the moon, he loved treeing that raccoon. Most of all, he was my best friend, and he's gone too soon. Comfort, pray for safety, for peace of mind. Face the demons in the streets while you all sleep tight. People meet us with their anger from the 6 o'clock news. People hurt and people maimed by the boys in blue. No one looks into the story like they all should do. All the officers who save our lives, they'd rather cover all the issues to increase their dime. It's not a story, and to them it's just a waste of time. Another officer
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. Before we get started, if you have any electronic devices or cell phones, please make sure they're on silent or turned off. And if everybody would please stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. On behalf of the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, I welcome you here today as we celebrate the life and service of one of our own, one of our family members, Canine Hoffer. We know that he was loved and cared for by his handler, Corporal Stephen Sella, his family, and the whole Charlotte County community. In his short career in life, Hoffer not only made a lasting impact and impression on the Sheriff's Office, but to citizens all across the state of Florida. Hoffer was truly our community's dog. John Galsworthy stated, "Not the least hard thing to bear when they go from us, these quiet friends, is that they carry away with them so many years of our own lives." Again, we thank you for coming today to celebrate the life of Hoffer and show of your support to our family. So at this time, I'd like to invite Eric Hoffer to come forward and talk about the life of Hoffer.
Some of you may know me. I run a German Shepherd rescue. This is the largest in Florida. And I pull from about 12 shelters, and I have a lot of associations with shelter managers and such. The Animal Welfare League, as you well know, is the shelter in this area, and it's one of the shelters that I pull from. I got a call one day that they had a dog. They had not a shepherd, but a bloodhound that had some issues. They said that he was mouthy, he bit somebody, or what have you. And they said, "Would you take a look at him, do an evaluation of him like I do with all the shepherds that come in there?" And I did, and I said, "There's nothing wrong with this dog. This dog needs a job. This dog's a puppy. He's 4 years old, but he needed something to do. The people that had him didn't have any clue as to what to do with him. And if without a job, these dogs who are working animals, they break down. It's like leaving a German Shepherd in a crate all the time. They just break down." Well, after I evaluated him, I immediately made a call to the Charlotte Sheriff's Department, to Chris at the time, I believe, and I said to him, "I have a dog that I think you should look at." And the rest is history. They came down, Stephen came down, took a look at him after the evaluation that I did and one other person. And it was due to Diana Mitchell, here from who was at the Animal Welfare League at the time, to bring me down there to be able to do that evaluation, to be able to facilitate the transition between a shelter dog at that point and a working animal. In this area, I've done over 1,700 German Shepherds in this local area, and about 20 other dogs that fit into both Mals, Taverns, and Shepherd mixes. A few of them I kept. I have 7, and and certainly one of the best things that ever happened, was Hoffer. And every once in a while, an animal comes into my life, and I've had a pack for 33 years, and dogs come into your life and out of your life, and all my dogs come from the shelters. But every once in a while, you get an animal that goes into your heart. It's an animal that it's not normal. It's not a normal relationship. You love the dogs that you get, but every once in a while, a dog just enters your heart. And I think that what happened here is that not only did this dog enter our hearts here, not only did it become tremendous factor in the county. But the love that Stephen had for this animal and the animal had for Stephen was unusual and something that will never be forgotten. People will remember these animals forever. I know all the dogs that I could just mention them back from 1990, every one that I've had. And I know every one that sticks in your heart. But every once in a while, a special animal like Hoffer comes in. And I know Stephen will never forget it. And we all owe a debt of gratitude to Stephen for his tenacity in training the animal and spending all the time he did with him to get him to pass. And then once the dog did, and once the dog, all he wanted to do was please, he did so much for the community. So I'm just positive that he's up there looking at us and saying, job well done. And I was loved, and by Stephen especially. And I thank you all for caring about a dog like this. And there will be others that come up, I'm sure. And I'll be on the phone with Charlotte County and see who may fit into their mold. But moreover, if anybody is looking for a German Shepherd, you know where to come.
So we actually have where we're going to allow anyone who wants to come up and talk. So I wanted to start off. I really didn't prepare anything, but I know Stephen. I know the bond with the dog. I was a canine handler for many years. Had one of our first bloodhounds. So you work with a shepherd, it's tough. You work with a bloodhound, it's really tough. Between the slobber and the tracks and everything that goes on, you know, it's a lot more. It's a lot more demanding to have the two dogs. And they become your partners, and you talk to them, you listen to them, they listen to you. They can't really talk back too much, so it's great. There's always a funny story that canine handlers normally, we get divorced because our dogs listen to us better than our wives. So when I got remarried, I had to find a canine handler. So we've been together for a long time, and it works out. But I just want to say, Stephen, thank you. Hoffer was Charlotte County's dog. Did a lot for this community. You do a lot for this community. Our canine team does a lot for this community. But Hoffer was the face of the canine unit in Charlotte County. So I just want to say thank you. It's a lot of hard work and dedication. And just want to let you know that I know how it feels. It hurts. So I'm with you. If you need anything, let me know. And if anyone else wants to come up and say anything for Stephen, a couple of words, please do so. I didn't mean to be a little bit of a mess. I'm normally better at speaking, but it's close to my heart. So if anyone wants to come up, please come up. If not, we'll let the sheriff continue on. So thank you.
I'm not always very good at speaking from my heart, but I want to echo what Eric said. I don't think any of you could have seen Stephen and Hoffer together and not seen the special bond that they had for each other and the love that they had. And the picture that I see of Hoffer looking up at him with those adoring eyes and the slobber will stick in my heart forever. So Stephen, you have my deepest condolences.
Hi, my name's Diana Mitchell, and I'm formerly with the Animal Welfare League in Charlotte County. And I just wanted to speak for a moment about Hoffer's time at the shelter and what an amazing miracle this was that CCSO took him on. He had come in to our shelter as a bite case. We evaluated him and thought he was just a wonderful dog, just big, goofy, full of energy and big loud mouth. He used to I'd come in the morning, we had him in the biggest kennel we had, and he would stand up, he would see me coming, he would stand up and bellow right in my ear. And I'd be like, darn you, his name was Chappie then. Darn you, Chappie. I might have used other words, but but when it all came together, when we did adopt him out one more time, and he did come back in as a bite case, not a bad bite case, but we just were so concerned. He was basically a two-time loser at that point. And, you know, you can only do so much in a shelter environment for a dog. So when Gordon Smith approached me and said, hey, I think this dog, you know, has a future. And do you mind if I call Eric? I'm like, go for it. He's 4 years old. He's bit 2 people. I don't think this is going to work. But my gosh, it worked out so beautifully. And my proudest moment at the shelter was Copper and his career. And Stephen, we just love you. So thank you.
I don't know what to say, Stevie. Sorry. You got put in a tremendous amount of work. He's definitely not a two-time loser. He's a rock star. You have done amazing things with him. Be very proud. The entire community is proud. I am very proud. Thank you.
I'll make it quick. Stephen, thank you for all that you do for not only the K-9 unit, but for the Sheriff's Office, but for your 2 partners. Thank you to Dr. Bivens and all her staff who made it here today. We know you guys did everything you could have done at the best of your abilities to try to save Copper. Thank you to the entire K-9 unit for showing their support today. And you know we love you. You're one of our brothers. You do anything for any of us, and we would do anything for you, to include stand up in front of a bunch of people and talk.
My name's Steve Volillo, and I was a walker at the Animal Welfare League. And one day I got to walk Topper, and when I asked them, how come this dog keeps coming back? And they said, because he bites too many people. So I said, this would be a good dog for the Sheriff's Department. And I spoke to my boss at the Animal Welfare League, and after that was history.
Two-time loser, huh? Well, it just goes to tell you what you can do with an animal when they're loved and they have the proper trainer. Because he went out a winner. So to close our service here today, there are several people who deserve thanks for their part over the last couple of weeks. First, we would not have had these past few years with our beloved Copper if it weren't for the generous support and cooperation from the Animal Welfare League and Eric Hoffer. So thank you very much. Thank you for allowing him to be not only Charlotte County's #1 bloodhound, but all of the state of Florida. To Dr. Bivens and the Bivens Animal Clinic, thank you for your work with all of our dogs over the years and for doing what you could to help Copper in trying to save his life. Captain Davis and Sergeant Musgrove, thank you for being the liaisons between the Sella family and the CCSO and for helping make the arrangements for this memorial service. I also want to thank the CCSO Honor Guard, K-9 unit, and our video production specialist for each of your contributions to this service. And finally, on behalf of the Sella family, the K-9 unit, and the CCSO, we would like to give our utmost appreciation to Director D. Roberts and the staff at Kays Ponder. Your generosity has exceeded our expectations. And Stephen, Copper was your friend. He was your partner, your defender, your dog. You were his leader, his love, his life. He was yours, faithful and true, to the last beat of his heart. We thank Copper for his service with you and our agency and the citizens of Charlotte County. But now his work is done, and may he rest in peace. And as we end our celebration today, I want to leave you with these words that are inscribed on the K-9 Memorial. Born to love, trained to serve, loyal to the end, best friend to our nation's finest, we served our master who served mankind. Thank you all for coming out here today and showing your support. As always, be strong, be safe, and never quit. And may God bless all of you.